to Series 4, Episode 2 of the Jumble Bumble Crumble. We are rolling in 90s goodness, which is very exciting.
It is.
Also, hello, Jamie. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. You were running a bit late this morning. Do you know something? I think you're one of my favourite people for voice notes. In fact, I'm going to play your voice note now so that everybody else can enjoy it. So here we go.
No one needs this.
This is the sort of voice note that I get from Tor. Here we go.
I suck. I'm running late. I suck. One of those days, when you're just like, nothing is where you think it's going to be. Couldn't find anything. Anyway, I'm walking in now, so I will be about 10 minutes. See you shortly.
So yeah, that's what I got from Tor this morning. So yeah, bless her.
I was walking down the street leaving that too and walked past like a little old lady whilst I was doing my little football style chant who was like, this is a necessary thing.
I enjoyed
but yeah, no,
it very
just one of
much.
those mornings. I think I broke a bit on my jumper. I got stuck on a ferry. I mean, what is my life? I had like a little dangly ferry that has like little metal arms. I got like caught on that. I got like I got like my bag stuck on the door handle. I lost my phone and I lost my keys.
Oh my God, this sounds like
a success.
You're like Mr. Bean in 2021, aren't you, really, to be honest? I think Channel 5 needs to give you your own documentary series. I'd definitely watch it. So anyway, this week, it's funny, I noticed that, have you been shopping this week, or did you do online shopping? Because you dedicated at least 3 pictures on your story to your purchase of a certain product. Did you go to the stores?
It was like the sparkliest mascara I've ever seen. I'm such a magpie. I almost brought it in today because I was like, this is really tacky and 90s as well. So I was going to be like, look how sparkly it is. And was like, why would I do that? But yeah, it was like £3 on eBay, and my eyes haven't melted off yet, so I'm going to say that's a win.
That's all good. Do you know, so it's funny because when I saw that, I thought to myself, oh, maybe you'd been shopping, because one of my favourite stories this week, genuinely, was somebody I work with now, because of course, like, things are starting to open. And one of the girls that I work with, she came into work and she had like huge long talons, right? These talons that she'd had, and then one pinky which was covered in a huge plaster, right, like this. And I was like, what happens? And she goes, well, I could get a manicure and the gym's opened, so I got a manicure, and then I went to the gym, and then I ended up like damaging my finger. And she goes, it cost me 50 quid for this manicure. So I'm not like, well, you've already £5 down if you've already damaged one digit. But I just love this concept of like trying to fill everything that you've not been able to do for months all into one day.
Yeah, I'm going to do it all now. Oh my God. No, fake nails scare the absolute life out of me. I'm all right with my just normal ones. They're fine. But yes, they're like talons are like, yes, that's everything in one day. Oh, bless them.
Yeah.
Well,
I think a lot of people have been doing that. I know my daughter did. She ended up having like a hair consultation on Tuesday, as soon as she could book it in.
I'm going to get my hair done. I'm going to go to sit in a pub beer garden. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to throw up all the beer. Like, yeah, that's really living it out of lockdown, isn't it?
No, I know, but I'm just genuinely happy about the fact that climbing gyms are reopening, so I'm very excited about that. And tying it in, actually. So I started climbing. Funnily enough, I started climbing in 1991, which is where this magazine's from.
Did you?
Yeah, so I started climbing.
That's a very nice segue there,
it was,
Jamie.
Wasn't it?
Well
yeah,
done.
I started climbing. I'm good at these things, aren't I? It's like 12 years of radio. I used to go to one of probably London's first indoor climbing gym, which was a place called Mile End, where you could still do bouldering, but they were like the mats were those kind of tiny, really thin mats that you used to get when you were climbing. So if you fell, you were going to break your ankles and things.
You're still going to die, but cool.
But so I started there, and funnily enough, actually last year, just before the lockdown first happened, so it was January last year, I took my oldest for his birthday and my other son to Mile End to go climbing there, and I'd realised it was like 30 years since I'd been there. It was a really, really weird and mad thing. And yeah, sort of on the basis of that, and do you know something? The magazine is going to, I think it's going to take a sort of a second fiddle, really, very much to the things we're going to be talking about this season. But you'd set the challenge last week for us to go through our photographs from 1991. Now, as
I did,
there is a bit of an age gap between you and I, so therefore, you were a tiny, cutie little baby in 1991.
I was a wee little bubba. I had so much. It worked out nicely because obviously we were allowed to go around to people's like back gardens and stuff now.
Yes.
So it meant I was actually able to go around to my mum and dad's and sit in the back garden and like go through all the photo albums, which was like such a lovely activity anyway. Just like oohing and ahhing over just like all the awful outfits and like the cute stuff, and like we were really cute when we were little, and we got loads of stupid photos. So I was like, oh, this is so lovely. But yeah, so the outfits were interesting. I've tried to. So 90s is kind of a shit decade for fashion. It's a bit nondescript. So each week, because obviously last season, with it being a video, I tried to do like a circus outfit each week because that's what the theme of the magazine was. 90s is a bit naff, so I'm just going to do a nod to the 90s every week because that's the best I can do. So this week we've got kind of like baggy jeans. This is actually from the 90s, leather jacket.
Nice.
That's my nod to the 90s this week.
That's great. That's great. And I'm just going to wear my normal clothes, which I purchased in the 90s and I'm still wearing now.
And you're already doing a nod to the 90s, which is just great of you, Jamie, for putting that effort in. Thank you.
The easiest decade for me to do. You know, I am regressing every single day. So yeah, as we said, there's a bit of an age gap between the two of us because in 1991, I mistakenly tried to de-age myself last week. I'd realised that actually in 1990, I was 13 going on 14. In 1991, I was 14 going on 15, which is perhaps even an even more awkward stage. So yeah, not a great deal of photographs because I think actually as awkward teenagers back in the 90s, you didn't really get that many photos. So
like a vampire, just like avoiding all that kind of stuff. Like, no, let me photo take it. Oh.
Yeah. So the funniest thing actually about the photographs that I've chosen, with the exception of the sort of last one, they are all photographs taken when I'm unaware of the fact that somebody's taking a photograph.
They're the best kind.
Yeah. So
I love them. Well, shall I get cracking?
Yeah. So if we look at the first one,
then you've got an exciting plaid shirt. Is that what the word would be?
It's lumberjack shirts were all the craze in the early 90s, and in fact, to be fair, I still own some sort of lumberjack print check shirts these days, but they
didn't really ever go out of fashion for men, did they? Though
Not really.
Been a staple. You've got some glorious curls going on.
Yeah, my hair was a lot curlier then. I think it's just died a death. I'm losing the battle with
its elasticity.
Yeah, I'm losing the battle with my hair anyway. Like some days, it's funny. I just kind of wash my hair and brush it and walk out of the house, and it's suddenly very, very curly. And then sort of like later in the day, it goes rather straighter. But yeah, my boring mousy brown hair.
And then we've got. Oh, look at you!
Yeah.
We've got Jamie sat cross-legged on the lawn with some very exciting trainers going on in this.
Yeah. So I really like my trainers, you know. And do you know something? I wish I'd kept some of my trainers because I'd had like sort of Nike Air Jordans in the early 90s, which now are worth an inordinate amount of money. But if you can imagine...
Yeah, but surely you'd have worn them to death.
Yes. Well, I had, but I think they would still be worth something. I don't know, probably not. But if you imagine, so back then I had a paper round, right? So
you look like you had a paper round.
Yeah.
If I had to make a judgment, I'd say that kid had a paper round.
And I earned £4.27 a week, which used to arrive in a brown envelope. And with that money, I saved it all up.
Make it rain, Jamie. Make it rain.
And and I've got my very funky shorts and a skater shirt. Yeah, but again, this photo actually is part of a photo where I am sat. There's a bunch of girls, and then I am sat about 14 foot away from the girls. So yeah, you know what it was like. That awkward 1991 stage.
Some good curtains going on there as well.
Yeah. So
curtains were definitely a thing of the 90s.
This is me in action. I've put two photos just to show my sporting prowess back in the 90s with my tiny little chicken legs. But behold me winning the 70-meter hurdles. I was.
Look at you go! You're really going for it.
I'm really going for it. I am. But yeah, look at me in my athletic shorts, in my all white athletic shorts.
You're winning by quite a large margin.
I am, yeah. Look at me. I couldn't do that now. I'll be honest with you.
Is this a hidden skill we didn't know about?
Well, yeah, I've got many hidden skills that I don't talk about. But yeah, it's probably, I think my career in at short distance running was was probably stalled by the fact that I had just incredibly skinny legs, and I was I was one of those self-conscious teenagers who's like, I don't want to get my pegs out. So a great thing about the 90s actually is that shorts did get a lot longer. There's another one of me sitting in the garden, again 14 foot away from a group of girls, just looking, sort of remorseful, and just looking away,
yes.
Probably trying to be cool. And then there's a picture
aloof, that's the word, trying to be mysterious.
Yes, I know.
Aloof.
Yeah, and there's nothing mysterious about a 14, 15-year-old boy. And then I found a picture with my little sister Kim's, which I thought was quite sweet, where we're just playing ball. Again, my head turned, I don't know.
You're social distancing well in that photo.
Yeah, we are, yeah.
You guys are quite far away.
Yes, very far away.
Social distancing before it was cool.
Yeah, and then finally a very awkward against a peach wall photograph of me.
Oh!
With my hair slightly cut and wearing a bow tie and a white shirt and looking slightly awkward.
That is the shortest I've ever seen your hair,
yeah,
I think.
Yeah, I did do that for a period of time. I think I was... The
peach wall is a
good.
beautiful thing to behold.
Yeah. There's a picture of Mozart to my left.
I feel like you've aged well.
Yeah, well, yeah. I've aged into my face. I think that's a nice way of putting it, isn't it? Aging into your face.
Aged into my face. Well, are you ready for Little Baby Tor?
Oh, I am so ready. Yes, absolutely.
Shall I find these? Okay, there's a selection of them. So this is me when I was like super baby, and it's really cute, and I love this picture. It's one of my favourite
Bang on
pictures
91.
Let's
little. Have a look.
Oh! Yeah, bang on 91.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God, so cute. So cute. Have you got, I thought it was a pepper grinder, but it's a hammer, isn't it? You've actually got a hammer there.
It's a hammer. We're on the beach. I think we might be on a beach in Suffolk somewhere where my mum is from. I've got my little bonnet on. I got my little Michelin Man rolls.
Yeah, but I didn't imagine that the muffin cheeks could be even bigger, but they're just so cute.
Oh my God, you are in for such a stall. Oh, the cheeks are bigger. Okay, so there's another set of pictures. Yeah. This is, I looked through to try and find the most patterned outfits that I possibly could. I think this is a brilliant selection of 90s outfits going on. So there's 2 photos here.
Oh, wow.
Little
yeah.
collection.
Oh my goodness. Oh, yes. Oh, I'm loving the pattern. So in the first one, you're sat on the stairs. You look like, like one of those little, those little door stops that they use that have got full of sand. On that one of the steps, you look like you're
just full
of sand. Yes. And then top right hand corner, we've got you doing a pose. I like that. You're on a deck chair in the garden. You're on a foldable chair in the garden, and you're doing a kind of like, I might actually be going to the toilet at the moment. Look, but it looks kind of savage. Yes. And then bottom left hand corner, we've got beautiful red stripes, and it looks like you've got.
I love this one. I'm very dramatic.
You are very dramatic. You also look like you've got. Have you got like sort of like shoulder pads, or have you got like stegosaurus sort of scales like along your your shoulder?
It was the 90s. Shoulder pads were a thing.
Dear. And then bottom right hand corner, you do very much look like a clown. And do you know something? I think every child had one of those kind of romper suits, like in the.
This is one of the parachute outfits I was telling you about.
Oh, it's so cute. Do you know something? They should bring those back. They really should. Do you know something? Genuinely, I've got this thing where I feel like little people should be able to dress like little people. And the one thing that I always hate is when you see children dressed as adults. You know what I mean? I never like that. I always think like, do you know what? It's an opportunity to wear that.
I definitely was not in these photos. If you look at the next set, I put the dungaree photos together.
Do you know something, Tor? You would wear those dungies now. Those the dungarees.
I totally would.
They're so cool. The ones in the top left-hand corner. The purple ones with the big yellow and red patterns on them. Oh, they're gorgeous. And they look like they might be corduroy. I'm not sure, but they look like they could be corduroy.
Cord was totally in.
Yeah.
Cord's coming back in now, just so you know.
You also look, it's funny because although you're looking at the flowers there, you do kind of look like an old man. Do you know what I mean? Just the way you're sort of hunched up. You look like, look at my begonias. You know what I mean? Oh, top right-hand corner, reading a book from both sides of the book. Oh, that's such a cute picture. Look at you. Oh, and bottom left-hand corner, reading again.
I used to read a lot, and I used to sit in baskets a lot.
Oh, do you know
from when
something?
I
We
was
lost
a
you there for a
baby.
second.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was it. And I was going to send you quickly. Oh,
Yeah.
am I back?
There we go. You are
I've
back now.
got-
You are back.
These aren't from 1991, but they are some epic patterns and outfits. So I've put them in just because they
Homage to the
make me happy.
90s. Yeah, homage to the 90s.
A homage to the 90s.
Oh, so we've got red top with yellow spots with red and yellow striped shorts. That's really funky.
Tell me I'm not setting fashions.
That's so cool. And then you've got like another big romper suit with patterns on it. I'm trying to work out what the patterns are on that.
I think there's like, I don't actually know.
No. And then we've got
I don't actually know.
Got you with a lovely boater. And a lovely boater in a floral dress, bottom left-hand corner, looking like Hyacinth Bouquet.
I literally lived in that dress, apparently. Mum was like, it was the worst dress ever, and I wouldn't take it off. I just lived in it. She was just like, it was awful. I'm so glad once you grew out of your pink stage.
Yeah, at the bottom right-hand corner, I do love that pink dress. I can see how much you love that pink dress too. Oh, bless you. And then we've got, finally, old Seaside Tor in a pink and polka dot with a visor. Old visors were great in the 80s and in the 90s. We like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then also, top right-hand corner, actually looking a little bit like you're in a Jane Austen novel.
A little bit.
Yeah, no, that's...
It was just the side ponytail thing, because that was such a 90s thing,
It
wasn't
was
it?
the side ponytail. And then, bottom left-hand corner.
It's me and my cousin. Have you seen my photo face? It's just exactly the same.
Yes, I know, entirely the same.
And I look exactly the same now. I literally
No,
have
exactly.
I
Yeah.
haven't changed.
You haven't changed at all. You haven't changed at all. And again, oh, bless you. Look at the pouches in that bottom right-hand corner. Oh, so happy. Oh, do you know, that's so cute. That's so cute. I
know.
Yeah, I was going to say, like,
okay,
today...
one more, just because you can just enjoy this one on your own time, because it's cute.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to look at this last one as well. Here we go.
Just
wow.
because it's me being...
Oh, what a poser. You're already practicing the poses back then. Do you know something? Do you know what I'm going to suggest this week, actually? I was going to do, let's do the front cover of the magazine, but this is far better. Can you recreate the poses of some of these photographs?
Oh my God, I could absolutely try.
Yeah, I think that would be a far better and more wholesome and more funny thing to see. So,
okay.
So for next week, what I want to do is I want to actually see, I want to see the recreations of these photographs for next week.
Okay.
It's funny, as I said, it's going second fiddle this season, although we are still essentially talking about a pornographic magazine from 1991. Yeah, it's funny. So this last week, what I've done is, and in fact, what we'll do is we'll actually do the story next week, just purely because it's quite a long story, and this segment's taken a little bit longer than I anticipated it was going to. So, but I've done something different this season. Now, last season, what we were doing is I was reading from the magazine itself, but the writing, erotic writing, let's be honest, seems to be quite similar. And after the stories, the best stories, unquestionably, were an Experience magazine. The magazine
100%.
written by women. Strangely enough, that's the thing.
That's why they're the best, because they're always the dirtiest.
Exactly. But the stories in this, they are kind of good. But the thing is that pornographic stories in gentlemen's mags seem to be written pretty much to a standard template, and I just thought, is there another way that I'd be able to do this in a more interesting and creative way? So
What have you done? Is it going to be through the medium of dance?
Yes.
What's the plan?
Now that would be quite interesting. But no, what I've decided to do for this season is I've actually found this app where you can scan text from a photograph, and then it tries to recreate that text. And actually, the mistakes it makes are better than the original the original text. So although you will expect a high degree of filth from these stories, because for some reason some areas it seems to pick up better than others, but there's a lot of it where it kind of gets a little bit lost, and I was giggling a lot over the way that it was. So hang on, let's see if I could just find. I'm not going to read all of it this week. This will be something for next week. But if I give you,
sounds amazing.
If I give you an indication of
okay,
how,
of what to expect.
Yes, of what to expect for next week. So let's just see if I can find this particular paragraph that made me laugh. Okay, so, I've been working for 4 years in an imminence office, and for the last 2 years, say, gone on holiday to Spum for a fortnight with my friend from work, Julie. So, yes. Spum. So we're going to go on holiday to Spum next episode. Yes. Which I thought was far more exciting than the original text. So, yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. But we're going to have a wholesome week.
Where do you reckon Spum would be in the world? It sounds like it should be like Bognor Regis area, doesn't it? It sounds like it's not going to be abroad at all. It sounds like it should be in a really awful place. Spum.
No, it would be somewhere on the northeast coast, probably. Going to Spum.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Spum. Well, seeing as we've got a bit more time now anyway, because we're not doing the story, would you like one last photograph of me?
Yes.
Which has made I love this one. So this is me and my brother looking so cute it makes me want to cry. But
okay, here we go.
Just look at me and see what it makes you think of. I've done a little video of what it made me, what it reminded me of.
Oh.
So, I mean, that's the cutest picture, right?
Oh, it's so cute. You also look incredibly drunk. Oh, my goodness.
So, also, I decided I look like this. So, I'm going to put this on our Instagram as well. Seeing as I've made you into Charlie Bucket this week, this is what I thought I look like.
You do very much look like Baby Yoda. Oh, look at you. Oh, bless you. That is such a cute picture. It really, really is. You did a little bit, and such a busy pattern. Are those daisies in the background? I want to say,
yes, it's like the smallest flower print wallpaper in the history of time.
Yeah. Actually, one thing from the 90s that I don't know if you remember, but certainly a huge thing in the early 90s with those Magic Eye posters where you had to look at them.
I loved them.
Yeah, so the Magic Eye posters where you looked at it and it would look like a Scrabble, and if you sort of stared into the distance and kind of crossed your eyes a little bit, then after a period of time you'd be able to see like an elephant or something like this. Yeah, the other thing...
I absolutely adored them. Like my mum had like 4 of those at home, or something, like big books of them.
Yeah.
And I'd literally just like flick through them. I got so fast at doing them, I could literally just like zone in and out, and I absolutely loved them.
You see, I could never do them. Another thing from 1991, which was a purchase that everybody wanted that particular Christmas, and I got one, and it was the Global Hypercolor t-shirts. Now, Global Hypercolor t-shirts were these t-shirts where they changed with temperature. So I got this So I got this grey t-shirt, right, which looked really cool, and it had the Global Hypercolor mark on the front. But the problem is, let's be honest, where are the areas of your body where they're going to get warm? And it's going to be your armpits, right? So this grey t-shirt, if I was feeling a bit hot or I was slightly flustered, would go bright neon pink, but it would always be like under the armpits. You know what I mean? It was one of those things where it didn't look very cool. It just, you know what I mean? It was one of those ones where you're kind of like, why is this a thing? You know, because it literally like...
That is a terrible design idea, isn't it?
It's
a
terrible
really
design idea. Although I'm very, very keen to try and find a Global Hypercolor t-shirt, because I think we need to wear them for maybe the season finale of this. So if anybody can point out where you can get Global Hypercolor t-shirts, might get them. I was thinking about Global Hypercolor underwear as well, but I think that would be absolutely the worst thing in the world forever, you know. But who knows, maybe that will make a comeback 30 years later. You never know. Tor's frozen, but she's frozen on a laugh.
No.
Is she back? You're back now. It's funny because you froze. You were laughing, and then you've come back and you're still laughing. So that's all good. So
I had a great time on my little side trip by myself. I was still laughing. We're all good.
Yeah. So with this in mind, what we're going to do is we're going to say goodbye. We're going to recreate photos from the early 90s for next week, and expect our photo to text story for next week as well. So until that time, I just wait for Tor to come back, and then we'll say goodbye. She looks like
I don't know where
she
I've gone.
looks like-
I'm waving,
you
just
look
so
like-
you know.
You look like you're judging me. Bye bye.